I had the title, the white coat, scrubs, the degree, the life people pointed at and said, "You've made it." But I was exhausted. On paper, I had arrived, but in my gut, I felt uneasy. There's a kind of fear no one prepares you for. When the ladder you've spent your life climbing is leaning against the wrong wall. And walking away, it felt like betrayal. Not just to medicine, but to everything I thought made me, me. What happens when you let go of an identity you spent your entire adult life building? What if starting over isn't starting from scratch? Let me tell you about how I left medicine and why I still carried imposter syndrome into every new room I entered. If I leave my current career, I'll have to start over. That's the lie. And it's a loud one. It comes from a deeper fear that your worth lives in your title. That credibility is a possession, something earned once and forever lost when you pivot. That switching careers is starting over. But that's a lie. In reality, credibility is a culmination of our experience, our perspective, and our capabilities at this moment. When I left the hospital and stepped into the world of startups and venture capital, I brought that credibility with me. So what does that look like? It was my ability to learn deeply about something I care for. It was my ability to connect with people and build trust. It was my ability to make quick decisions in challenging situations. Leaving your career isn't like tossing your resume into a fire. It's finishing one chapter and starting another. The story isn't over. You're just turning the page. Here's what that belief, "I'll have to start over," will do to you. It keeps us stuck in a role that is no longer right. We keep thinking, it's not that bad. I'm still earning a paycheck. But we miss opportunities that are in front of us. We miss out on personal growth and fulfillment. We miss out on life. And that can build regret. But we are not alone. The average American changes jobs 12 times in their career. 88% of career changers say they're still happier after making the leap. Job satisfaction sees a measurable spike post-pivot. So why do we fear it so much? The brain is wired for survival, not uncertainty. When faced with the unknown, it triggers the amygdala, activating our fight or flight response. It's not fear of failure, it's fear of uncertainty that rattles us most. And the longer you stay in the wrong lane, the more convincing your imposter voice becomes when you finally decide to change. The world sees pivots as risk, but I've learned pivots are opportunities. I didn't leave medicine empty-handed. It left me with a clear sense of what drained me and what energized me. Someone once told me, "Navin, you look so bummed at work, but when I see you outside the hospital, you light up." That hit me hard because I knew it was true, and I knew I couldn't keep pretending. We think we're giving up everything when we pivot, but here's the truth. You don't transfer your title, you transfer your skills. In the early days, I leaned heavily on what I did know. Medicine, investing, offer health. I wasn't the most experienced person in the room, but I was often the most curious and driven to learn. And curiosity builds credibility faster than credentials ever could. Over time, I stopped waiting for permission to belong, and I started focusing on what I could contribute. That was the shift, from needing validation to offering value. If you're straddling two worlds right now, your old identity and your emerging calling, I want to leave you with this. You're not lost. You're evolving. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to take the next step.
Episode AB, segment 2.
Getting closer every time. Let's shift gears and talk about another quiet struggle, imposter syndrome. There's a lot of noise out there, some of it well-meaning, but still misleading. So let's bust some of those common myths that keep people stuck in doubt, even after they've earned their place. Doubt means you're not mentally strong. Oh man, every day, even right now, I have doubt. Am I going to answer this properly? Doubt means you care about what you're about to do. So for me, instead of doubt stopping me, it actually says, you care, and keep going. Imposter syndrome is a permanent condition. First of all, it's not a condition. It's actually more of an experience. It's when you get into a room that you feel like you don't belong in, you're experiencing this doubt and feeling of being a fraud. So, number one, it's not a condition. It's an experience or a feeling. Fortunately, it will stay with you. You know why? Because you care, because you're pushing yourself to grow, and it will be with you. Doubt, fear, that never goes away. It's there, but it will not stop you. It can actually help you grow. It's a sign you're in the wrong career. I think we're really hard on ourselves when we're trying different things. Let me give you an example. I'm a very social person. I love to talk, and I went into a field of anesthesiology where I took care of patients, I spoke to them, and then I put them to sleep. And I would say, wait a second, am I in the wrong career? I like to talk to people, and my patient is now asleep. And I told myself, how would I know that before? I actually like talking to so many people, including the other physicians and the other people in the hospital. So why am I being so hard on myself? I don't know if that makes sense, but I just thought I would share that because in the anesthesia world, it was funny. Successful people don't feel like imposters. Oh my gosh. I would say the complete opposite. Every successful person I have met has doubts, feels like an imposter in some moments. And you know why? Because they're continuing to grow and push themselves and because they care. That's why they're successful. So remember that. Talking about doubt makes it worse. I completely disagree with that. I talk about doubt, fear, anxiety every single day. I talk about it with my teenage daughters. I talk about it with my colleagues. And you know what it does? It usually gives an opportunity for that other person to give me some feedback or ideas for me to get better. And number two, really important, it gives me support. They usually say something that, don't worry about it. You're doing fine. You're doing great. You belong here. And you know what? We need that. Doubt is just low self-esteem. No, I think the most confident people have doubt. It's a chapter in the book of confidence. Remember that. We need doubt to be better, to be more aware, and to be motivated to grow. So it doesn't mean you have low self-esteem. You might have some darker days or days that are a little bit tougher to get up. Let's talk about it. Let's be open, and let's rely on others to help us just like we would for others. It only happens early in your career. Oh man, I wish that was the truth. I've been in venture capital for 10 years now, and it happens probably even more. You know why? Because I'm getting to know it more, and I'm overthinking it more, and I'm actually starting to say, wait a second, should I know more in 10 years? I'm also putting myself in rooms where I dreamed of. I'm around, I feel, more successful people, bigger decision makers around the world, and I feel like later in my career, I'm actually having more imposter syndrome thoughts. The difference is I'm using that as fuel to be better and grow and be more grateful. That's a really important piece there. It's the same for everyone. The experience of imposter syndrome or imposter experiences could be different for everyone, actually. We all have it, but we have our own voices that say different things to us. Some say, you don't belong here. Some say, you got lucky you're here. But if the more we talk about it, there are a lot of common things that our minds tell us. We just have to make sure we continue supporting each other and know that we're not alone. You have to completely get rid of it to succeed. Oh man, I think we need it to succeed. I used to be so angry at doubt and fear and imposter syndrome. I actually think it's an important piece that makes us a little more humble, a little more caring, and to appreciate exactly where we've come. Here's the bottom line. Imposter syndrome thrives in silence and misunderstanding. But when we call out the myths, we loosen their grip. You don't have to be flawless to belong. You just have to show up real. Remember, trust is the ultimate currency. Vulnerability is a competitive advantage. And imposter syndrome? It's a sign that you're pursuing growth. Never forget, we are made to rise.